Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. I am a spiritual mentor. If it's your first time seeing me, go ahead and like this video because I know you're gonna like it already. Subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you never miss another upload. And if you already are subscribed, hey babies, welcome back. All of my content here is about healing you and helping you reach your highest self. Let's get into our affirmation card of the day, our oracle card of the day, guys. This says non-duality. Non-duality. Let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. Let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. Beautiful message about honoring the human parts of you and also honoring the inner divinity in you. So beautiful. Let's get into today's video. How are y'all doing? I have not talked to y'all in a little bit. I have not seen you guys in a while, and I hope you guys are doing awesome and feeling great. Today, we are going to be talking about yoni healing, womb healing. We're also going to be talking about soul ties, intimacy, how we develop intimate ties, and also how this affects dating, casually dating, and just everything as a whole. We're going to be talking about a lot of tea. So let's just get right into it. As you guys know, you can always book private sessions with me, business reboots, mentorships, hour sessions, everything, pre-recorded readings, all of that, and then some at the link down below in the description box. That's also where you can find my Instagram, shop with me, book with me, podcast, all of that. So let's get into the tea, guys. So yoni healing, yoni wellness, womb healing, womb wellness. What is it? So basically the whole movement behind yoni healing and womb healing is that so much trauma, so much history, so much pain, so many gifts, so much creativity, so much power lies within our womb. And unblocking that is definitely a painful process, a heavy process, a stressful process. And when you are able to heal your womb and get on the journey of discovering your womb, accepting your womb, healing your divine feminine, you're able to manifest better and love better, love yourself more, operate in a better state of mind, and even more things. You know what I'm saying? So many problems we deal with when we have a womb comes from our womb. If you are a human being with a womb, a lot of your health issues, some, mental issues, hormonal issues, a lot of mental stuff that we have going on is also directly related to hormonal imbalances and things that we're experiencing hormonally as well, which can directly be affected by traumas we've experienced and pain that we're holding on to. So releasing the trauma of your womb and healing your womb, getting connected with your womb, is something that can really heal a lot of different things in your life and really free you from a lot of different things. So let's go ahead and get into it. So let's talk about some things that can kind of cause you to need to heal your womb in the first place. So if you've dealt with, sexual abuse, if you've dealt with heavy relationships where people did not respect your mind, did not respect your femininity, if you had to grow up really, really fast, as a young person and you weren't able to experience innocence, if you weren't able to experience having a loving relationship with a feminine figure in your life, if you have a lot of issues with your mother, a lot of issues with the women in your life, if the women in your life have experienced a lot of trauma in relationships, in love, sexually, physically, emotionally, all of that can be affecting your womb. If you've had troublesome births, if you've had, miscarriages, if you've had difficult births, that can be affecting your womb as well. If you've been in spaces where you've been very hard on yourself because of your sexuality or because of your femininity, if you've seen those things as weaknesses because of certain trauma or because of certain relationships or certain conversations that you've had with people, and you have a negative relationship with your femininity and with your womb, that could be something that you may need to release. So anything that is causing you to feel away, anything that is causing any imbalance between you and your sacred space, you want to deal with it. You want to figure out where it's coming from. I think releasing rituals are a great way to start this process, especially if you have trauma based with certain people. If you have a certain person, who harmed you or who made you feel like your femininity was wrong, someone who maybe introduced you to sex too early and, had you thinking one thing when it was really something else. If you feel a way about your mom because your mom didn't tell you about sex and you had to find out somewhere else and you're holding trauma from that, anything, literally, it could be anything regarding your intimacy, your sex, or your actual womb itself. If you're someone who started your cycle early, if you're someone who has a lot of, serious PMS symptoms when you're on your cycle, you're throwing up, you have headaches, you have mood swings, the whole works, before, after, and during your cycle, womb healing can be beneficial for you as well in that space too. But doing releasing rituals can definitely be beneficial. You can definitely do it for a specific person, or you can talk about, things in a whole. I am releasing womb trauma, and just talk about, begin to journal about the different things that have traumatized your womb, that relationship that you have with your womb. So journaling about it, burning it is definitely going to be a good way to just start to express yourself, because your womb has a lot to say. And I read Sacred Woman. I definitely recommend reading Sacred Woman if you're interested in getting some real deep, chunky history reference book, encyclopedia tea about your womb and the relationship that you have with your womb, and how your lineage affects your womb and your relationships affects your womb, and what you eat and how you sleep and what you wear and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I think Sacred Woman would be a great read. We read that in my book club. So if you're having trouble reading through Sacred Woman, you can definitely go ahead and check out the Enlightened Reads book club. And I have literally, questions for every chapter, info for every chapter that you can use to kind of help you along. I definitely think learning as much as you can is beneficial as well. So books like Sacred Woman that can give you a lot of feedback and a lot of information are going to be good to just have on hand as reference tools when you're on this womb healing journey as well. And also, they mentioned this in Sacred Woman, having a conversation with your womb, literally sitting up and propping a mirror, between your legs and having a conversation with your sacred space, looking your sacred space in the eye and accepting it, and having a conversation and listening to what you have to hear. Your sacred space is the portal to your womb. It is the entrance to your womb. So you can sit with the mirror between your legs as well and have a conversation with your womb about what your womb has experienced, what you want your womb to release, what you want your womb to stop holding on to, just building that connection, because you want to see your womb as something that is healing you, as something that gives you power. And a lot of times we can feel like our womb is what brings us pain every month and what's causing us to have all these mood swings, and it's causing us to have facial hair in all these places and break out. There's so many different things that can affect the physical health of our body, and that could definitely be affecting your womb health as well. So possibly doing yoni steams, doing different detoxes, making sure that you are eating clean and being mindful about the things that you eat and the things that you put into your body. And I've been seeing a lot of people say, oh, you don't need to detox your body, that's why you have a liver and kidneys or whatever, or oh, you don't need to detox your womb space because it's self-cleaning. And I definitely think, obviously, physically, that is true. But when we're talking about detox, we're also talking about energetically releasing a lot of stuff. We're talking about energetically and spiritually being in a space where intentionally you are trying to make yourself feel lighter, feel better, have less stress, sleep easier. And the intention behind that is not going to do what your kidneys is going to do. It's going to do more than that. You know what I'm saying? So don't sleep on detoxing. Don't sleep on being intentional about healing yourself. But you definitely want to make sure you do your research. I don't recommend doing any type of detox where you have to stick anything up inside of your sacred space and wait a couple of days to take it out. I would not recommend anything like that. But definitely, if you wanted to do a yoni steam or prepare a spiritual bath for yourself with a lot of love, giving yourself a lot of love is really the name of the game when it comes to womb healing. You want to let yourself know that you are beautiful, that you are valuable, that you are strong, and that you can connect with your womb. You can connect with the trauma of your womb, and you're not just going to leave it there and forget about it every time it comes back up and triggers you, because your womb is still there holding all of those things that you are trying to forget about. You know what I'm saying? So bringing those things up, dealing with them, even if that means you have to go to therapy, or even if you have to find a sister circle or confide in someone, you want to make sure that you're able to release that energy, because it's going to keep affecting you if you don't, deal with it once and for all. And this could be anything. Like I said, it could definitely be sexual trauma. It could also be abusive relationships, issues with, feminine energies in your life. So it could be a lot of different things, but regardless, you want to get to the bottom of it and give yourself a lot of love in the process. That's really the name of the game. Getting to it, healing it, looking at it once and for all, and giving yourself a lot of love and care in the process, because it is hard work and it can definitely be emotional. Also, don't think that you have to heal your, entire history of womb trauma in a month or even a year. Really see this as a beautiful journey that you get to go on with yourself, and you get to reconnect with yourself every day in so many different ways, one step at a time, you know what I'm saying? And you really can build a beautiful relationship with your womb step by step. You can also do yoga. There are a lot of different yoga poses that can nurture your womb, open your womb, have your womb align with your energy. Also doing sacral chakra work as well. Your sacral chakra sits in your womb space, and your sacral chakra is going to be ruling your creativity and your intimacy. So your creativity, your ability to manifest and create, obviously birth, that birthing canal, all of that energy is related to your womb healing. So if you're having a lot of issues with manifesting, it could be because you're having a lot of issues with your womb. So tapping into your sacral chakra can definitely be beneficial. I have a full sacral chakra video. I have a full chakra series that you guys can check out to get more in depth. But tapping into your sacral chakra, what I like to do is wear a lot of orange, so I always wear the color orange for my sacral chakra. I also use a lot of crystals like citrine, Also, eating orange fruits, eating citrus fruits, eating good things, eating live foods is going to be good for your womb as well. So also experimenting creatively, you know, if you have time, having one day out of the week where you just challenge yourself to do something creative. You challenge yourself to paint or to draw or to, you know, sit with the mirror between your legs. You know what I'm saying? That could be, you know, creative. You know, having that dialogue could be creation of something, you know, and just really allow yourself to, you know, challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone. I definitely feel it can be kind of, you know, weird stepping into some of these practices if you've never connected with your womb before, because it is through your sacred space, you know what I'm saying, which physically we carry a lot of kind of, you know, we want to put it away, don't really want to look at it, don't really want to talk about it, stigma on it. But you know, that's why so much of that pain builds up and so much of that trauma builds up. And that's why we are holding issues from our mothers and their mothers and their mothers and their sisters and their girlfriends. You know, when we hear that, you know, women are going through trauma in their womb, it doesn't just hurt them, it hurts us. You know, we don't want anyone that has a womb to be going through pain or trauma or frustration or anything. Any person with a womb, you know, we want them to be feeling uplifted and validated and powerful because of their womb, because a womb is a very powerful thing. And everybody on this planet does not have one. So if you have a womb, it's very, 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 very powerful. It's kind of like if you have a fountain of youth and it's full of litter to the brim and you can't even get to the fountain. You know, that's how you have to see your womb. Like, I have to release all of this stuff that's been piling up, let all of this stuff go, talk about it, spiritual bath, and be intentional with my eating, be intentional with who I lay down with, be intentional with how I treat myself. All of that goes into it. So I talked about who you lay down with, so let's go ahead and get into intimacy. I have a couple of notes down here because I don't want to miss anything about this. So let's go ahead and talk about intimacy, soul ties, and how that ties into yoni wellness and womb healing as well. So a soul tie, what is it? You can build a soul tie with anyone that you have a strong spiritual connection with. You also can develop a soul tie with someone just because you sleep with them, just because you date them, just because you fall in love with them. Sometimes you can develop a soul tie with someone and not even you get physical with them. So there's so many different ways that you can develop a soul tie with someone. You will not get a soul tie with someone automatically because you sleep with them. The reason you'll get a soul tie with someone is because you're entering a space of intimacy very open. You know, if you are someone who has a mindset, just like men, you know, men don't always go into spaces. And I'm saying men because this is more men than women, because this is something I do, you know, but I'm gonna talk about me a little bit later. But men typically, just because they get intimate with someone, it doesn't mean that they feel this person has a part of them. It doesn't mean that they feel like they developed this big, deep thing with this person. They're not typically looking for someone to fall in love with them and just be pining after them after this. They really just see it as what it is. They see it as a primal, wham, bam, thank you, man. They're not seeing it as all deep. They're not going into it with the intention of creating a long-lasting bond. They're going into it with the intention of finishing, and that's all they do, you know. And all men are not like that, but the majority of men are like that. And the majority of women step into intimate spaces with the intention of, this is going to deepen my bond with this person. This is going to make me closer to them. This is going to strengthen my bond. Wow, I'm giving this person a part of me. This is going to be so deep. This is going to be so intimate. This is going to be everything. And you go into that space with that energy and that mindset. It absolutely will be that for you, because you're going into it with that space. When you're in that space, your womb is obviously open. Your chakras are activated. You know what I'm saying? Your body is awakened. You know, having intercourse with someone is probably the most intimate thing that we can do as human beings. Besides literally growing in someone and giving birth to them, it's literally going in or coming out. That's basically as intimate and as close as it gets as humans. So when you're stepping into that space with that intention, it will be very easy for you to form a soul tie with someone because you want to. You're doing it with the intention of creating a connection with them. Editing Christian here, guys. I wanted to say that there's nothing wrong with sleeping with someone with the intention of creating a strong bond with them. Make sure they have the same intention though as well. If you both are balanced with your intention and you have the same plan, then great. But when you go into it to create a bond and the other person is just looking to finish, that's when we create an imbalance and have a problem. I never understood why people get stuck on someone because of good sex, because I never was stuck on anybody because the sex was good. Ever. You know, that was never something I experienced ever. Like, I didn't even ever really care about sex. I didn't really see it as something that was intimate and deep. I'm not really sure why. I just was always taught this is how you make babies. I wasn't trying to make no babies. So I really wasn't seeing it as something that was going to deeply make me connect with someone on a deep level and open myself up. I was not thinking that and was not seeing that. And I say that to say, just because you sleep with someone, it doesn't mean that you're going to connect with them in that way. If you go into it with that intention, then that's absolutely what will happen. It's very possible to be intimate with someone with the intention of having a good time, enjoying yourself, learning new things about intimacy, and not doing it with the intention of developing this deep, strong connection. Also, another way that you can get caught up in those connections is if you sleep with someone and they have a lot of karmic energy on them, they're very needy, they're very weak, and they're looking for someone that they can latch onto. That can also put you in a space where you're now attached to someone and you now have that soul tie. So you definitely want to make sure protecting yourself from soul tie, making sure that your intention is clear and that your intention is not based on delusion. You know, you do not want to be in a space where just because you are sleeping with someone, you feel like they owe you something or they should show up in a certain way. Let them do that first, and then you give them the gift of your body. And if you don't want to do that, if you want to sleep with them as soon as you meet them, then just understand that, okay, you might not have proper time to vet this person. You might end up attached to somebody. You might end up with somebody that has something on their back that's now on your back. And that's just, you know, a risk that you could possibly might take when you sleep with someone without kind of, you know, vetting them or really understanding, you know, who they are and the type of energy that they have. So as you are more aware of your womb healing and what it means to, you know, grant someone access to your womb, you'll be pickier about who you allow in your sacred space. That's why we see a lot of women on this journey end up being celibate immediately, because they realize the importance of protecting yourself and not just laying down with everybody. So I definitely don't feel like every person you sleep with, you connect with them and have a bond with them. That definitely is not true. I feel like a lot of times we create the bond because of our own, I said delusion, so that's right. Delusion. We be delusional and thinking that sleeping with somebody is going to give us something that it's not. Like I said, women mostly do this, but men do this as well. And also, if you're in a space with someone who has a lot that they have going on, a lot that they're dealing with, and they're looking for an outlet, they're looking for something to release. Because another thing that men do, men can step into a situation as, I got all this tension built up, I got all this anger and all this frustration built up, I'm about to release this when I sleep with this person. I'm gonna sleep with them so I can get all of this off of me. You know, we know a lot of people that sleep with somebody and have mad sex or angry sex because they're trying to get all that energy off. You absolutely absorb all of that. So intention is everything. It's all about making sure that you're in the right space with the right mindset, because if you don't have the right mindset, if there's stress there, if you're looking to get something off, if you're looking to lay something on somebody, if you're looking to, you know, develop this connection and get all deep, then you absolutely will form that bond. So you definitely want to make sure that you're just being intentional and very mindful with who you sleep with. And if you want to just date and have fun, or if you're in a space of dating and having fun and you don't want to do all that, just understand that you might end up picking up, you know, some outside energy. So you want to be doing a lot of spiritual maintenance, a lot of room maintenance. You want to make sure you're being safe, that you're protecting yourself, and that you also, you know, maybe keep a little crystal on you, or, you know, cleanse your energy before and after. You want to take care of yourself and not just trust that everybody that you're having a sexual encounter with is in the mindset of giving you the best experience and loving you and protecting you and just, you know, showing you new things. That's not always going to be the case. So make sure that you are in that right mindset, and make sure that you have your discernment turned on, and your womb will let you know who to lay down with and who not to lay down with. You know, your womb will let you know, I'm comfortable with this person, I feel relaxed with this person, or this is not something that we need to get into right now, let's back away, let's abort. And of course, you always want to be able to say, I'm not about to do this, I don't want to sleep with this person, and not feel bad about it, obviously. So that's just a little spiel about, you know, soul ties, how we can connect with soul ties, how things can get attached to us, and, you know, how we can kind of release those things and protect ourselves and make sure we're stepping into these spaces with the right mindset so we don't tack on all of that energy as well. So yes, guys, that's a little bit about yoni healing and some things about yoni wellness, some things about womb wellness that you can do, some spaces that trauma might come from, and some things that you can kind of start doing, some super simple things that you can start doing to kind of, you know, tap into that energy every single day. Like I said, releasing rituals, spiritual baths, having that conversation with that mirror, giving yourself a lot of love, giving yourself a lot of understanding, also forgiving yourself as well. You know, if you felt like, dang, I shouldn't have given this up to them, I shouldn't have trusted them, I shouldn't have let them in my space, you know, forgive yourself for that. Forgive yourself for that. And like I said, give yourself a lot of grace, give yourself a lot of love in these spaces. And, you know, just be mindful and just be open to the discovery. It is obviously difficult to look at certain things and relive certain things, but it is definitely worth it, I feel, to free yourself from it, because it definitely can keep you bound, and it can definitely can lead to a lot of, you know, physical issues that can manifest, you know, from what you're feeling emotionally and spiritually. So yes, guys, if you have any questions about anything that we talked about in this video, please let me know down below. I'm definitely open to doing a part 2 of this. You guys asked me to do a video about, you know, soul ties and connections, and also a video about, you know, like womb wellness. So I tried to put them both together because they definitely are very clearly related. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, then definitely leave them below. Of course, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I thank you guys for being here as always. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys. Bless.